So we are coming around to the kind of the beginning. You see the sign there, Millbrook Marsh, and you might be able to hear a few of the geese flying around. Excuse me. And this is a bridge that kind of is bringing us back. But one of the reasons why I'm stopping at this bridge is because you'll notice a lot of water under this bridge, which is why they built the bridge. This water here is not a stream. It does end up in Millbrook Marsh. This is all runoff water. So basically water that comes from the surrounding higher area. So you'll notice there are houses and hillsides coming up, and actually above the hillside a little bit over in that area is the Mount Nittany Hospital, and Penn State's over in that area. So lots of those places, and you can see a couple big roads with the truck coming at us. All those roads have lots of water during rain, and all that rain makes its way into the marsh through many different channels. Sometimes the sewer at the end of your street that shows up eventually in a marsh or a stream or a creek nearby and brings the water kind of together. Everything, all the water is kind of flowing together to get to the Susquehanna and then the Chesapeake Bay. So you might notice some of these dead looking fluff balls. That's last year's cattail. Cattail is pretty fun. And right now in spring, it's pretty small. I don't know if you can see some of the cattail growing. This is going to zoom in a little bit. There's some of the cattail growing right in the water. But that's pretty small to start. But it gets into be a tall, maybe 5 foot to 6 foot tall plant with, it looks like a hot dog. Most of you have seen it. If you haven't, you should look that up. It's a cool plant when it's in its young form. And then the seeds kind of dry and then break out and turn into these little fluffy masses on the top, and they get spread by wind. So it's pretty cool that they have lots of different options. So you can see just in this little section right here, there's hundreds of them. There's probably millions of cattails on the Millbrook Marsh property. So here we are coming back up to more or less the end. You'll notice there's the barn, and we're kind of coming up to that first water I was talking about, which was Bathgate Spring. I'm going to try not to talk so maybe you can hear it a little bit. There it is. That was the first water we see. What we saw on our little trip here today. And it's moving pretty fast here because it's going under some land that was like a land bridge, and it's going through a culvert, which is basically, you know, a big pipe that lets the water move through the landscape. And you can see lots of plants growing in and around the water. Those darker looking plants like this one here, that is a watercress. This one right in front of us here is a raspberry. That's a nice one to see because raspberry, well, make good jam, good to eat. And you can see lots of these other smaller trees. You'll see some plastic trees in the background. They're not really trees, but they're protecting trees. Those plastic pieces are protecting the plants growing in it from animals that would eat it. Everything from a mouse to a deer that eats on the growing new tree. So you can see Millbrook is undergoing quite a bit of a restoration, which means to restore it somewhat as it used to be. They're doing a little bit of experiment here in that area. So here we are, come back to the other side of the barn and one of the other silos that's there. I hope you enjoyed the trip through Millbrook Marsh. I love this place. I love being outside, period, so it doesn't matter where I'm at usually. But if you enjoyed these videos, see if you can make your own. I'd love to take a look at it, and you can send it to your teachers. If you have questions, email your teachers. They all know how to get in touch with me. And keep exploring. It is a great time of year, spring, to watch things grow and change. Especially plants, which I'm pretty much a big fan of, as you probably know. So thank you for coming along. And this would have been a great shot. They used to have a big sign that said Millbrook Marsh, but they painted over it. So our ending, which was going to be nice, is now just the side of a barn, which is also nice. But you can kind of see the old logo there. And again, back in the upland area, which in about a month and a half will be full of very tall grasses and teasel and goldenrod and milkweed. Keep exploring, everybody. Thank you.